Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. Have you ever dreamt of building not just one successful company, but, a whole string of them? Well, you are in exactly the right place. This isn't just some book summary. Think of this as an actionable blueprint based on Colin C. Campbell's amazing book, Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. We're going to break it down into a playbook you can literally start using today. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll lock in on the end goal. Then we'll unpack the one big idea that makes it all tick. After that, it's all about the operating system and the step-by-step plan. And we'll wrap up with the habits you need to build and, just as important, the big mistakes to avoid. All right, first things first. What are we actually trying to achieve here? Look, it's not just about getting one lucky win. It's about creating a system, a repeatable process that lets you start, scale, and sell businesses over and over again. It's not turning entrepreneurship from a gamble into a craft. Let's be real, we've all heard this scary statistic that most startups fail. The whole point of this system is to completely flip that script. Think about it like a baseball player's batting average. Hitting .300 is considered fantastic. This blueprint is designed to get your exit average up over .400. It's about consistently getting those wins. So how in the world do you actually pull that off? Well, the book boils it all down to one big idea. Entrepreneurship is a 4-stage journey. This isn't about luck or catching lightning in a bottle. It's a structured path you can follow every single time. And here it is, the entire life cycle on one slide. It's so simple, right? First, you start. You find that spark and build a solid foundation. Then, when you know you have something real, you scale. You pour gasoline on the fire and aim for massive growth. After that, you exit, selling the business for the best possible value. And then, here's the secret sauce, you repeat. You take everything you learned, all the capital, and you do it all over again. But this time, you're smarter, you're faster, you're better. Now, to make this whole cycle work again and again, you need a set of rules. You need an operating system. These are the non-negotiable principles that guide every single decision you make, no matter which stage you're in. Okay, here are those core principles in action. First, your business plan has to be so simple it fits on 4 sticky notes. Seriously. Second, you use what are called stage gates. Think of them as checkpoints with super clear goals that tell you, yes, we're ready to move on, or nope, stop here. Third, when it's time to scale, you only focus on things that can 10x the business. That's scaling in zeros. And finally, you have to evolve as a leader. You stop delegating little tasks and start handing over whole areas of responsibility. So this is the key takeaway right here. Real, lasting success isn't about one person's genius, not even yours. It's about building systems, rock-solid systems that make success repeatable. That is how you avoid being a one-hit wonder and actually build a career doing this. All right, enough of the high-level stuff. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. This is all about the step-by-step actions you need to take in the 2 most important phases, starting and scaling. If you can nail these first 2, you're setting yourself up for a great exit and the ability to repeat. Okay, your very first move, create a super focused business plan on just 4 sticky notes. And the best part, it's all about speed and simplicity. You should be able to get this done in under an hour. It forces your team to cut through all the noise. And here's what that plan looks like. You've got 4 pillars, and for each one, you just have to answer one critical question. What's your story? Who are the people you need on board? How are you going to get the money? And what systems will you use to measure success? You answer those 4, and boom, that's your entire business plan for the start phase. So you've got your 4 sticky notes filled out. You've proven your idea has legs. Now it's time to scale. And this, my friends, is where the game totally changes. You shift from just trying to survive to aiming for explosive growth. And that needs a completely different kind of operational rhythm. This is the rhythm that fuels your growth. It's a super disciplined cycle. You set your big picture strategy once a year, break it down every quarter, and then you go into these intense 88-day sprints of pure execution. This cadence becomes the very heartbeat of your company while you scale. Look, a great plan is totally worthless if you don't have the right habits to back it up. These are things you do once. These are the behaviors that you and your team have to live and breathe day in and day out to make the whole system fire on all cylinders. This is how that rhythm shows up in your calendar. It's a strategic meeting cadence that connects your biggest vision, that 2-day annual offsite, all the way down to the nitty gritty of a daily sales huddle. You see how each meeting flows into the next? It creates this perfect waterfall of alignment from your biggest goals right down to what your team is focused on today. And these are the specific tactical habits that bring that strategy to life. For instance, in every single planning meeting, you use a start and stop list. What are we going to do? And just as important, what are you going to do? You track your goals with a dead simple red, yellow, green status. Every goal has to be SMART. We all know the acronym. And maybe most important of all, you turn your meetings from boring status reports into creative powerhouses where real ideas are born. Okay, last section, and it might be the most important. Let's talk about the big mistakes that can completely derail all your progress. Knowing where the landmines are is half the battle, right? Avoiding these is just as crucial as doing everything else right. The single biggest mistake is something called the founder's trap. And it's so dangerous because it's all in your head. It's hard to let go. In the beginning, the business is you. Your hustle, your talent, it drives everything. But to scale, you have to fight every instinct to control well. You have to become a leader of other leaders. You have to stop delegating tasks and start trusting people with huge responsibilities. You gotta check your ego and empower your team to go out there and win. And sometimes even let them fail so they can learn. And it's not just about you as the founder. Here are some other major traps. Your company's story doesn't grow up with your ambitions. You wait way too long to build the systems you need to track your numbers. You rely on one superstar salesperson instead of a process anyone can follow. And you let your sales team get bogged down doing anything and everything but selling. So there you had it. This whole thing was designed to be a practical guide, a real blueprint for execution, which brings us to the only question that really matters now. The blueprint is in your hands. So what's mode number one? What's the very first action you're going to take? If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe and build with us. We are doing this one book at a time. Remember, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you do. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. Now it is time to act and build.